Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Sports Talk with me, Rico. What's going on? Tom Brady, former NFL quarterback, Tom Brady is coming out of retirement. Former New England Patriots and quarterback, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback, Tom Brady. He will make that announcement soon, but this is breaking news. This is what we do on this channel. We break news. There's a lot of information that I share with you guys that you wouldn't have otherwise, but I'm letting you know. I know this for a fact, 100%. You know what I mean? But like I said, pretend I'm in the room when I break news on this channel. Pretend I'm in the room because I'm speaking facts. We don't do clickbait on this channel. But anyway, Tom Brady is coming out of retirement. Saudi Arabia billionaire. Saudi Arabia billionaire will pay Brady $75 million for one day to unretire, to come out of retirement to play flag football in Saudi Arabia, which is crazy. $75 million for one day for Tom Brady to come in, play flag football in Saudi Arabia, which is gonna be big news, big stuff for they're gonna stream it, all over the globe. Pay. It's gonna be pay-per-view type setting, all the stuff, and with the streaming, all the stuff going on, they figured to make to make $3 to $5 billion from marketing and all that stuff coming in. Um, the revenues are gonna be big, so they're gonna make billions of dollars. So they're giving Tom Brady $75 million. It's nothing that he can, it's nothing for them. So, but Brady's not the only star coming. Saquon Barkley, the Philadelphia Eagles running back, Saquon Barkley, he said that he got a DM, he got a DM from Brady, and that Brady said, hey, can I give you a call? And he told Brady, go ahead. Brady called him, said, hey, I have this offer to come out of retirement to play flag football in Saudi Arabia, and they pay me $75 million. And they asked me to recruit some former players and current players. Would you be interested? Saquon said, well, when is it? So it's going to be March 2026, March 21st, 2026, which is when it's going to happen. Saquon told Brady, hey, I would love to be part of this, but I'm planning on playing, all the way in February anyway. Which they laugh about it, but Saquon said, hey, I'm planning on the Philadelphia Eagles going to the Super Bowl, and depending on how my body feel, if I'm not banged up, I definitely will be part of that. So not just Brady called, of course, former NFL tight end who played with Tom Brady in New England, who also played with Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Robert Gronkowski is also one of those guys that's going to be there. Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Sauce Gardner, all those guys, are involved in this to come and be part of this. And they're not getting $75 million. I tell you that. But each of those guys, Chase, all those guys, for that day to play flag football, they will receive $10 million. Each of those guys will get $10 million. But Tom Brady's the marketing scheme. Well, not the marketing scheme, but I'm just saying he's the one that would draw the crowd, so to speak. So to give him to come out of retirement to go out there throwing it out there. So he was trying to get Michael Vick to come in to be part of it, but Vick is involved and so many things. You know, he's coaching, he's doing his thing. You know, let me bring this news here as well. I mean, Virginia Tech. I mean, just say allegedly, not allegedly. You know, should I say it? Yeah, I know saying it. It's tough. Sorry, Vic. Sorry, sorry. No, not Vic. My bad. I shouldn't say that. Um, somebody told me. Let me just say this. Somebody told me Virginia Tech is interested in Michael Vick. Hiring Michael Vick as a new head coach. That's what someone told me. I'm not gonna say I called the AD. I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, there's a possibility Michael Vick might be the new head coach for Virginia Tech if he's interested. Let me just say this: if Vic is interested, I don't think Vic is interested. I think he's happy where he is. But no. Anyway, let me move on from that. But let's discuss the whole Tom Brady situation. Like, him going to come out of retirement. There's a lot of this. I posted a video about it. You guys could check it out. Where Antonio Pierce mentioned Antonio Pierce told somebody, and I wasn't allowed to talk about it, so I couldn't. So I didn't do that until he talked about it. I'm not saying publicly, but he told multiple people. He told one person that Tom Brady was sharing information because Tom Brady got the broadcasting deal, almost $400 million deal. And when you are part of the broadcasting crew, you get to sit on meetings with multiple teams in the NFL, all 32 teams. Tom Brady, who's the minority owner of the Raiders, shared those information with Antonio Pierce. I'm not going to say allegedly yet because it's factual. The reason that I didn't talk about it, I knew this, for a while before Antonio Pierce got fired, and of course he mentioned that Tom Brady pushed for him to be fired because Tom Brady had a lot of say so on what was going on. Of course, yeah, he's a minority owner, but he was brought in by Davis just to be able to be the football guy, to be the guy who will make decisions on personnel, not the front office personnel, but football personnel. He was brought in to do that. So who get hired, whatever, the whole Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, whatever. Tom Brady was the one that pushed for that to make sure this is what he wanted, But Antonio Pierce said, like I said, when it was said to one person, I couldn't talk about it. That person, I'm not gonna say that person told me. I'm not gonna do that. Yes, that person told me. Sorry, Antonio. Sorry about that, man. You didn't tell me. I'm not gonna say that, but there's a person he told at the time. That person told somebody else, and it went crazy. And then Antonio Pierce confirmed it. So now like I said, I get to talk about it. But Tom Brady was sharing all the detail, the scheme, all the stuff. There, there allegedly. Let me say allegedly here. Allegedly, there are 4 teams in the NFL, possibly 5 teams, that shared their playbooks with Tom Brady. I'm not saying their name. I'm not saying their name. I'm just saying who, what I mean? I'm not going to say the name. No. I'm being careful here. I'm not worried about being sued. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't care about that. It's just the name. You know. But the person, again, I could talk about it. I'm not giving all the detail, but what I'm saying is, the person said Tom Brady Well, Tom Brady shared, those teams shared their playbooks with Tom Brady in terms of scheme. They running all the stuff Tom Brady has been to uh, uh, um, their practice facilities and watched. They ran those plays, all the stuff, sat in meetings where they discuss all that stuff. Antonio Pierce said Tom Brady shared those information with him, and allegedly Tom Brady have shared those information with Pete Carroll as well, which is crazy. Which is what the NFL, investigating this stuff to make sure it's credible. But I don't think Antonio Pierce will be lying regarding this is a similar situation with Brian Flores when the Stephen Ross told him to to not win games. There's a lot of teams, a lot of ownership who've done that in sports. They want to get the right draft picks. They're gonna do what they gotta do. Now as an owner, it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough when you looking at it. Well, as a coach, your job, your job security is all predicated on how well you do, how many games you win. There's no moral victory. You got you got to win games. If you don't win games, it's all record. You'd be fired. Which is why when Brian Flores was fired, because he was trying to win games, and they fired him. He won that case, and the NFL still blackballing him for a lot of stuff, which is why they try to block him from a court, but he's winning these cases. And shout out to the Vikings for giving him a job. And I thought that he deserved the opportunity. I would have loved him to be the head coach for the New York Jets, but we have Aaron Glenn, so we'll see how that goes. But so far, it's not going well. So far, the Jets are still look like a disaster. So far, we 0-3. As a Jets fan, am I happy about that? No. And I thought that Aaron Glenn coming to the league, coming to the Jets as a defensive guru, whatever, would have been great. So far, the defense looks trash. Wilkes, who's defensive mastermind, defense still look trash. But it is what it is. But anyway, but like I said, man, having Tom Brady coming out of retirement to go overseas, to go in Saudi Arabia playing, is gonna be a huge thing for them. So they putting money out there. Anyway, so shout out to them. Shout out to everything they're doing, man. But let me say this. Let me give a shout out to it says Santori Thomas, a 44-year-old man, 44-year-old Air Force veteran. He, he was fired. He was wrongfully terminated from his job. Right, from Michigan. He was wrongfully terminated. His job terminated him, and he won a lawsuit. Right? He won a racial discrimination lawsuit against his employer, and he took 3 checks. They gave him 3 checks, 3 settlement checks. He took those 3 checks. His lawyers wrote him 3 checks. Well, the job, whatever, the settlement checks he got. He took those 3 checks. In Michigan, he went to TCF Bank branch in Livonia, Michigan. The staff refused to deposit those checks because they felt like it was fraud. They were suspicious, and he provide documentation. He offered documentation and his lawyer's contact information, and the bank called the police. Now listen, right? It's crazy. The guy was terminated from his job because of discrimination. They discriminated against him, and got a lawyer, filed a lawsuit, and won. Right? Look at God, man. Won. He won the discrimination, wrongful termination case because of discrimination, and he got 3 checks. Went to TCF Bank in Livonia, Michigan, to try to deposit those checks in his account. The staff thought that it was fraud. He asked for the bank manager. The bank manager came out. Everybody came out. They said, no, we're not going to deposit this check because it's fraud. They called a cop on him. The cop came, whatever. He showed all the information. And the bank refused. They arrested him. He was a millionaire. They humiliated him. There were so many people outside taking pictures or whatever. And he went to, they arrested him, whatever, but they ended up letting him go. Going to another bank, they deposit the checks. He deposited those checks at another bank, and those checks cleared in one day at a different bank. Now Thomas filed a second lawsuit against. Wow. He filed a second lawsuit against TCF Bank, alleging racial discrimination and unjust treatment. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to Santori Thomas, 44-year-old man. Shout out to him. He just made millions, right? He just made millions. That's crazy, man. He just made millions from a lawsuit from his job. The former employer fired him racially, of course, wrongful termination. There's a lot of supervisors, managers, a lot of people who should never have been in their position. There's a lot of people who who got the position. Maybe they're lying on a resume. Who knows? But still, they don't know how to deal with people. And when you fire someone, you gotta follow the steps. And they didn't follow those steps. They discrimination. They fired him. He won a lawsuit. He won a couple of checks. Now the bank did not want to, and I understand the bank. I understand. You don't want to deposit. You think they're a fraud, but as a bank, who cares? You're the employee. This is not your bank. This man come with 3 checks to deposit in his account. He's not asking for money. He came with 3 checks to deposit in his account. If I'm not now, you just cost the bank millions because he filed a lawsuit. Because the treatment you give him, you did too much. That's too much. You too involved. This man filed a lawsuit, which he's gonna win millions of dollars because you didn't do your job. That's not your job. You got too involved. That's not your bank. He come with his checks, deposit his checks. They have department to deal with that. That's why banks have fraud department. You know what I mean? Before you clear the checks, check them out. Make sure everything is good. Anybody can deposit checks. When you get a check, people write you checks, whatever it is, you deposit the checks. The bank verify it to make sure those checks are, before they clear it. Sometimes they might clear it before, I don't know. I've deposited lost checks. Clients get whatever. I've deposited checks before where the bank makes sure that, those checks are valid and clear them. But to tell the man you can't deposit your checks because you got too involved, you're an employee. That's not your bank. That is not your bank. You felt that was your bank. You got so involved because you felt that was your bank. And now you just make, he was already rich. Winning that lawsuit, he won a lot of money. You won a lot of money. Now you dummy, you just made him more money, and the bank just gonna fire you for because you got too involved. If I'm Thomas, I'm gonna sue you personally, not just the bank. So now he's filed a lawsuit against the bank and the police department. If I'm him, I will file a third lawsuit against the staff. Take your house, take whatever because you got too involved. Anyway, man, week 3 in the NFL. Week 3, we still have 16 that haven't that don't have any wins yet. You have the Texans, the Jets, the Titans, the Dolphins, the Saints, and the Giants. Which one of them you thinking who got to win first? I'm a Jets fan. I'm not even gonna. I'm so disappointed right now. I'm not even gonna say anything, man. I'm not even gonna say anything because I'm just. Hey, I'm looking at 2024, 2025 season. The hypocrisy, man. I'm looking at you look at Gerard Mayo was fired from New England Patriots for Mike Vrabel. 2025. Let's look at the comparison. Robert Kraft fired Gerard Mayo, who he handpicked to replace Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick for an entire year did not speak to Gerard Mayo. He did not speak to his quarterback, Mac Jones. Bill Belichick looking lost all over, and he's over here at UNC looking lost. But I'm saying, you got Mike Vrabel to come in because he felt like the team wasn't disciplined. Gerard Mayo was playing card on the plane, even when the team was losing with the guys. He was trying to bond with them. Robert Kraft and his son, his people, whatever, they didn't like that. They ended up firing Gerard Mayo, which his wife went to social media or whatever. Still, they saw what the team was in discipline, all that stuff. I'm looking at, and the New England Patriots were better off under Gerard Mayo than they are Mike Vrabel. Now, I look at the team. In 3 games last year and 3 games this year, New England Patriots in 2024 season under Gerard Mayo, they had 13 penalties, 1 turnovers. The record was 1-2 in 3 games. In 3 games, I'm sorry. In 3 games last year under Gerard Mayo, the New England Patriots, 13 penalties, 1 turnover, and they were 1-2 record, right? Under Mike Vrabel, 2025, 27 penalties in 3 games, 27 penalties, 6 turnovers, 1-2 record. Robert Kraft saying, "Wow, this, the teams compete. They look better." What are you talking about? But hey, I'll leave it at that. there's a lot of things I can say. You know, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. But shout out to, there's a lot of shout out. You know, let me say this, man. Before I go, Jordan had Pippen, Robin, and Robin. Now I'm not even gonna bring up the LeBron James thing. But Juan Soto, you know, let me say this. You still gotta give him credit. Before, Juan Soto is the third player in Major League history, Major League Baseball history, to hit at least 40 home runs, steal at least 30 bases, and have 100 or more RBI and 100 or more walks. The others were Jeff Bagwell and Barry Bonds. So I give him credit before, you know what I mean. So a lot of people call it a down year for Juan Soto. Let me see, 123 runs, 106 RBI, 150 hits, 127 walks, 19 doubles, 44 homers, and 34 steals. So hey, he did good compared to whatever it is. He did good. You gotta give him credit. You gotta be happy for him. You know, still happy for him. You know what I mean? Still happy for him. So shout out to him. I would say there's a lot of that I can say. You know what I mean? But shout out to Aaron Judge. You know what I mean? Aaron Judge, Trent, and Cody. They have a total of 110 home run. Wow, that's you know what I mean? That's pretty good for the Yankees, man. Shout out to that. Shout out to that, man. So as a fan, as a Yankee fan, I'm happy for it. I'm happy for it. Like I said, there's a lot of things I can say about Juan Soto, but I'm just gonna leave it as that. I could say, you know, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna be petty to say, hey, the Yankees making the playoffs, and the Mets are not. I'm not gonna say that. It's all right. It's all right, man. I could, but I won't. I won't. I won't. Just shout out. Just a shout out. And people are upset because Jimmy Butler went to ownership and the general manager asking them what are the plan, because NBA season is about to start, and they're asking, hey, what is the plan? And people are upset to say, hey, you shouldn't have. Why is he asking, what the plan is? Hey, why not? You want to know. I want to win. Anyway, man, ESPN, Stephen A. Smith signed 5 years, $105 million with ESPN, 3 years with Sirius XFM for $36 million. You have his YouTube channel on his podcast on YouTube, whatever, all that stuff. He's making a lot of money, right? But he's making his money. He's doing what he needs to do. I'm not hating on his money. Every week, his daughter's on ESPN. He's doing everything he can to showcase her, to put her on TV, to do all that stuff. As a father, he's in the position to do all that. Congrats to him. He should, as he should. As he should. Why not? No one should be hating on that. The same way, he shouldn't hate on LeBron James doing the same. Your daughter wouldn't have the opportunity that she does to be on TV all the time, to be on Disney, ESPN. You trying to get her on Disney channels, all the stuff, because of you. Those executives she's meeting with, she's about to have her own show on Disney because of you. So when you talk about nepotism, you went on LeBron James doing all that stuff. You know, like, come on, the guy's a hypocrite, man. He's a hypocrite. Truly a hypocrite. You know what I mean? No matter, let me say this, man. Baker Mayfield, after beating the Jets yesterday, he proved, he continued to prove the Brown front office were wrong. No matter what Andrew Barry does for the rest of his day in the NFL, he's always going to be the GM that got rid of Baker Mayfield and replace him with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson. So you replace him, he's always, no matter what he does, no matter what he does, he's gonna be remembered as that guy. But it is what it is, man. But no, I'm gonna leave it at that. I can't talk about that. But it is what it is. But like I said, Tom Brady's coming back. He's coming out of retirement. He's gonna be paid $75 million to go to Saudi Arabia and play football, flag football, for one day. So anyway, man, sports talk. Football is about to, NBA season is about to start. My Jets is not doing well. They're 0-3. I don't see a path of them winning. They might be the Dolphins. Who knows? Two bad teams playing each other. Who knows, man? The Dolphins might run all over them, man. Defense looks trash. My focus right now, I'm just focused on basketball. Is coming back. Yankees doing well. I don't want to jinx them. You know what I mean? 20 plus game above 500. I'm not even gonna jinx them. I'm gonna leave it where they're at. But NBA is coming back. I think a week or so away for the season to start. My Orlando Magic's Wagner. There's a lot of teams I've called the Orlando Magic to get Wagner, and I don't. As a fan, I don't want to see that. You have Bane, you have Bankero, having Wagner. I think the Magic need a true center, man, a big man that can, Isaac, all those guys. That's my dude. But come on, you need a bigger. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see. Without an injury, I think Orlando would have been deep in the playoffs, pretty deep in the playoffs, man. So we'll see. Everyone coming out fully healthy. Let's see what happens, man. I'm super excited for that, for the season. I don't want to jinx it, but we'll see, man. But shout out to them. Shout out to anyway, man. I appreciate you watching. YouTube. Thank you for all of you guys watching my channel, watching this videos. Keep liking them, keep subscribing. Peace out. Sports talk, like, subscribe, and shit, man. Peace out. I'm chilling there.